Good morning, guys. It's Friday. Today's theme is Teach Us Something, and I don't have many practical, filmable skills that I could teach you, so instead I'm just going to do my usual and stand here and talk and tell you how to be a writer. You're all probably thinking, Rob, I know you've gotten one article published, but that doesn't mean, like, professional writer, especially since it was non-fiction. And while that's true, I would like to remind you that those that can't do, teach, and that I spend a lot of my time reading about writing tips by people who actually are successful. The first one comes from John Green, noted multiple New York Times bestseller author of things like The Fault in Our Stars. John Green's advice is, quote, "Reading is the only apprenticeship that writers have available." We all at UD read a ton, so that's not actually that helpful, but a nuance to it I saw recently in an interview with Neil Gaiman. He adds that when you go to write something, specifically start reading things that are completely different from what you're planning to write. If you're, like, I'm assuming all of you, going to try and write literary fiction, which today means realistic depictions of modern suburbia and long rants about commercialism. Go to genre fiction. Even if you don't like genre fiction, you've never read any sci-fi, fantasy, mystery, anything before. And that ensures that you're not just sticking to the standard tropes of a genre, and you're going to write a boring, narrow book, but you're going to broaden your influences and hopefully bring things that haven't been incorporated into that thing before. The most important advice is always, if you want to be a writer, write, and write every day. And then the follow-up question is, oh, well, I'm a student, or I have a full-time job, and I can't do that. Well, there's a famous author whose name I can't find and completely forget, even though all these contemporary writers always bring him up every time they're asked this question. There's a famous author who was an older man when he first started writing, and he had a day job, and so every day he woke up an hour or 2 hours early, just wrote 200 words every day, went to his job, came back. That's it. 100 to 200 words, as all of us know from furiously counting words on every essay that we've ever turned in, is not a lot. And a year, he had a novel. And did it again, the year, and again, and then eventually was able to quit his day job. There always is time. It's not difficult to make time for writing. And the final piece of practical advice I recently discovered comes from Harlan Ellison, and is the single most brilliant, insightful advice for writing I have ever heard. When you sit down to write your daily amount of words that you, because of your writing routine, you know you want to get through, if you've hit your word count and you're in like a hot moment, like you're doing really great, stop. Jot down what happens next, and then push it off for next time. And that way you never start at a spot that is cold. You always start at a spot where you know that there's something great that's about to happen, and you're doing excellent writing. And so you eliminate writer's block from your routine that way.